He was born into a family of Russian immigrants who fled to Paris from the Revolution, pogroms, and typhus. His name was Lucien Gainsbourg, and then he became the king of chanson Serge Gainsbourg. His charm had a magnetic effect on the most beautiful women, and he considered himself a Quasimodo. He selflessly loved and was a womanizer, beautifully suffered and disgustingly tortured, shocked and delighted. He was a cynic, recklessly burned through life, and became a guru for several generations of the French. Joseph and Brush Gainsbourg did not suffer from nostalgia in Paris. However, at home they still spoke Russian, cursed, and cooked borscht, although the children were given French names. The eldest daughter, Jacqueline, the younger twins, Lilian and Lucien, or just Lulu. The father tried to give the children a comprehensive education and dreamed that they would become, if not doctors and lawyers, then at least teachers. Lucien turned out to be a prankster. At school, he skips, sits down at the piano with a roar, and even steals expensive tin soldiers and model cars from stores and gives them to the concierge children, until one day he gets caught. In general, Papa Gainsbourg has a lot of reasons to hit Lulu in the ass with a belt. During the war, when signs "No Jews Allowed" appear on the doors of Parisian bars and cinemas, raids are going on around the city, and you can only go outside by attaching a yellow six-pointed star to your clothes. Lulu loses all interest in studying altogether. He feels inferior. Of the whole family, Lulu looks the most like an anti-Semitic caricature. Protruding ears, a characteristic nose, black eyes, he himself is skin and bones after recent tuberculous peritonitis. Joseph Gainsbourg dreamed of becoming an artist when he was a student. And now, despite the hard times, he is enrolling Lulu in the courses of the post-impressionists Camoin and Poi. Their workshop in Montmartre became neutral territory. A German officer is working at a nearby easel, and he doesn't care about Skinny the Little Jew. Painting becomes not only an outlet, but also an infusion Lucien's greatest passion. One day, Lulu's classmates raided the office where the medical books of the students were kept, and for the sake of ridicule, they slapped this diagnosis on him, scares away women, and he sketches another nude in class. It is read out by Nabokov's Lolita. And he has an idea fix, to say goodbye to virginity as soon as possible. Okay, I think I'll take off at least some slut. I see a group of 5 prostitutes. I choose the worst, but the kindest looking one. When she dragged me into her kennel, I started to get nervous, and I admitted that I hadn't done it before. Then she showed me the path, and when it was all over, she said that I was doing well. But the girl Lulu had to deal with next time insulted him to the core. Even at a critical moment, she managed to blow gum bubbles. There was also one who did not allow herself to be caressed. "Don't touch my permanent," and one who fastened his fly, saying, "Come when you grow up." The moths of his boyhood, what black dust pollen he will brush off their wings. Now Lulu's whores don't matter, and he is afraid to approach the decent ones. In turn, he seems to be a mystery to women. Oh, this Lucien is a complete charm. He despises everyone. He takes guitar lessons from some stray gypsy and strums on the dance floor. Smokes like a steam locomotive. He dreams of pressing his ears to his head and remaking his nose. What if he's gay? The nobody's Gainsbourg, a student at the art academy, was picked up by a young Russian aristocrat, Olga Tolstaya, an eccentric and flighty person, on top of everything a virgin. Anticipating a stormy romance, Gainsbourg rented an attic and invited Olga. However, the haste with which Lulu got down to business deeply offended her, and the Countess slammed the door. Only many years later, already being a world celebrity, he took revenge. It was in Algeria in 1962. They bring him a business card. "Countess Olga Tolstaya wishes to see you." Gainsbourg came to visit and then, not without malice, told me what a wreck this touchy-feely woman had turned into, exhausted by the household and with a whole brood of children around her neck. Of course, she wouldn't mind now, but I didn't have the slightest desire. His charm had a magnetic effect on the most beautiful women, and he considered himself a Quasimodo. One day, Gainsbourg, having made a pretty face from shyness, showed Arnaud his writings. And soon the patroness pushed him, neither alive nor dead from fear, onto the stage of My Lord. Moreover, she also included his songs in her repertoire, and now Jacques Kennedy, the king of French show business, is in a hurry to sign a long-term contract with him. Yves Montand himself invites him to visit. "Well, tell me, boy, who do you want to be? A poet, a singer, a composer?" The master condescendingly asked the newcomer. Gainsbourg, who had been searching for a performer for his songs for several months, blurted out, "Everyone." Montana's handsome face turned to stone. Portraying the sweetest smile, Gainsbourg added at parting, "My texts are not for you. I'll sing them myself." The choice is made. He's 30. His extraordinary appearance is a godsend for the gossip columns. It turns out that he has the physiognomy of a treacherous Italian from the Renaissance, the ears of a flying elephant, and his mouth is a scarlet letter. He is even invited to the cinema, exclusively for the roles of villains. He loves kebabs, bourbon, and Edgar Poe. He sings for his peers, jaded intellectuals, in other words, for the elite. What the hell kind of a national hero is he? On the cover of the second album, Gainsbourg is depicted with a bouquet of roses and a pistol, and the inscription, "To those who like my songs, I send roses, otherwise I open fire." Not a day goes by that he is not accused of cynicism, gloomy pessimism, and misogyny. Temptation, according to Gainsbourg, is violence, and all women are divided into two categories, frigid and obedient. The main thing for a woman is to be beautiful and keep quiet. Gainsbourg explained, "I may be a libertine, but it makes me desperate. In fact, in love, I kept faith in the ideal. My heroines are Fairy Melusine, Ophelia, Donkey Skin, and Vivian Leigh. There's nothing to blame me for. If I were a libertine, would I feel so sick after every act?" Gainsbourg's friend and lover Sylvie Rivet said that it didn't cost him anything to drag himself in the morning with apologies like, "I got a girl like that, you'll rock." Well, I'm a bastard, and it was so funny that he was forgiven for everything. The great Boris Vian became the most loyal defender of Gainsbourg. The audience's favorite singer, Juliette Greco, a bright brunette with a strong-willed face, takes Gainsbourg on bail and records a record with his songs in her performance. Greco took him seriously and even managed to convince him that the lop-eared ear, of which he is so ashamed, is a gift from God. Later, the singer confessed, "I couldn't understand why my friends, all these secular lions and tigresses, called Gainsbourg a ghoul. I thought he was the most beautiful man on earth." In March 1959, Gainsbourg, along with other stars, went on a tour of France. "Hell of a tour," he would say later. He is so afraid of the provincial public that he begs the illuminator to turn on all the spotlights during his exit. He is ready to go blind, just not to see these faces. In addition, all the autographs and screams of the fans go to Jacques Brel. And a little later in Italy, Gainsbourg is waiting for a complete failure. The Italian press is full of bile against him. There was no need to go into the country of bel canto, with a snobbish manner of talking through your teeth. During one of the social events, a tipsy Gainsbourg will say with a grin, "Never mind, it won't be 2 years before you're fighting over my underpants. The 60s are coming. Universal Beatlemania. Famous masters of chanson have a hard time. They should either huddle on intellectual islands, like the little La Huchette Theater, or mow down teenagers." And then a healthy ambition wakes up in him. It's not good for a French song to be dragged on a trailer by America. It is necessary to glorify the realities of modernity, concrete, elevator, telephone, and not to gush about the fact that someone left someone there. I'll lead the French song with me. A modern French song is me. The new wave is me too. And he tries himself in all genres. He dances from African and Cuban rhythms, reggates, juggles words, and even composes in a mixture of 2 languages. During this dangerous turning point from 1964 to 1969, he wrote more than 100 songs, music for several films, the rock musical Anna, a military march for the Israeli army. Gainsbourg is coming into fashion.